So the results for the elections to Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana are in, and what a phenomenal day it has been on the election front. These elections also will set the tone for the upcoming state elections in Jharkhand as well as Maharashtra, because the BJP will now say that look, in direct election fights with the Congress, the BJP has a clear edge. The BJP has defeated Congress in Haryana, a state where there was a direct contest again, and Congress was being tipped to win, but BJP has defeated all odds to win in Haryana, and the same formula BJP will try and apply in Jharkhand, where it is in a direct fight with the JMM Congress alliance, and also in Maharashtra, where the two alliances will square off, and there are lots of question marks now on how many seats the Congress should get in such alliances when taking on the BJP, because the Congress performance has not been good. Let's come first to Jammu and Kashmir. Now, this is the UT which went to elections after a gap of almost a decade, and the National Conference has put up a big successful show. Out of about 51 seats that the National Conference contested in these elections, in an alliance with the Congress, the National Conference is leading in almost 42 seats. That's an almost 85% strike rate. In fact, it is the Congress party which is only winning about 5 to 6 seats out of the 31 to 32 seats it contested, showing that the Congress strike rate was very low in J&K, and it's the NC which has done the heavy lifting in J&K, and Omar Abdullah is the star of the show. Omar Abdullah is also going to be the next Chief Minister of J&K, and is the NC Congress alliance which is touching 49 to 50 seats in the coalition, thereby getting a clear majority in Jammu and Kashmir. The BJP has put up, incidentally, its best ever performance in J&K, both in terms of vote share in an assembly election, which is the highest, and also in the terms of number of seats. Nearly 29 seats BJP is leading, or it has won in total, and this is the BJP's best performance ever in J&K. In the last 2014 assembly election, the BJP had won 25 seats. So clearly the BJP has some positive takeaways to take away from the J&K elections as well, though it had expected many more seats in the Jammu region. Then it has won. There were 43 seats in the Jammu region. It had expected to win more, but it has not been able to. If the BJP had a realistic chance of forming the government, it needed to win at least 35 out of the 43 seats in Jammu region, which it is not able to win. BJP was also banking in a big way on independence in the Kashmir Valley, because BJP did not contest a majority of the seats in the Kashmir region. It was banking a lot on independence, on smaller parties. Even Engineer Rashid's party was expected to help the BJP because it was cutting the votes of NC. That was what the pundits thought, but that has not turned out to be. Engineer Rashid's party, in fact, has been able to lead in just one seat. It has not been able to damage the National Conference in the way that the BJP was expecting it will happen. Many of the independents, in fact, have lost. So the voters in the Kashmir Valley have reposed their faith in the National Conference. Even the PDP has collapsed with just 3 to 4 seats. It is the National Conference which has swept the Kashmir Valley, also won some seats in the Jammu region, and that is why we see it at this number. The Congress has not been able to help the NC in a big way. In fact, the Congress could win just one seat in the Jammu region, where the NC was hoping that the Congress would do much better. In a way, the J&K is getting a government, finally its own government, after a gap of a decade with statehood, which had become the big issue in these elections, and it is expected now that NC will strongly be pushing the center to return statehood to J&K, which the NC and the Congress had promised. The BJP had also promised it before the election, that soon after the elections, in the minimum possible time, statehood will be restored to J&K. Now the questions are being asked, could BJP have done this before the elections to negate a major poll plank of the NC and the Congress? Well, the jury is out, but clearly BJP has some positives to take from the J&K assembly election result, but it is the NC which has emerged as the big victor in Jammu and Kashmir, and Omar Abdullah will again be the Chief Minister. Haryana, meanwhile, is a tremendous story here which has unfolded today after the earlier leads showed Congress much in the lead, which many were expecting. Many exit polls were also saying Congress will win Haryana very easily, but a complete turnaround in the election results, and people have been wiser than the pundits, and we now see that the BJP has created history by becoming the first party to repeat a government thrice in Haryana after 2 full terms. BJP has also put up its best ever performance in Haryana, winning 49 to 40 seats, in leads and seats, which is more than the 47 seats that won in 2014 when it first formed a government in Haryana. In the last assembly election in Haryana, BJP had dropped to 40 seats, had to take support of the JJP, which had 10 seats to form the government. This time, BJP alone, without any support from the JJP, INLD, no other party, the BJP itself has been able to win 49 to 50 seats in Haryana. Its best ever performance in vote share, its best ever performance in seats number of seats when it comes to an assembly election in Haryana. A big victory for Haryana. And there are lessons for the Congress here. Maybe in the Haryana loss, maybe it was an overconfident Congress. They thought they're easily winning this election in Haryana. Bhupinder Singh Hooda was the presumptive CM face, and they were backing a lot on Jat voters. That Jat voters will be backing. They want a Jat's chief minister. That was the feeling inside the Congress camp, but that has completely turned out to be the opposite. It seems the Dalit voters, the 22% Dalit voters in Haryana, in fact, have consolidated behind the BJP, which repeatedly ran the campaign that the Congress was disrespecting their Dalit leaders like Kumari Selja, not giving her a say in the candidate selection, not putting her up as a candidate in the assembly election when she wanted to, and not giving her space in the campaign. I think that is something that has made the Dalit voters, go behind and get behind the BJP in a big way in this election. Also, Rahul Gandhi's reservation comment, which he made in the US, which he later said had been misconstrued, BJP used it very effectively on the ground to say that, look, the Congress is against the Dalits. This seems to have worked completely against the Congress. The BJP has won the GT road belt, the Gurgaon Faridabad belt, and even made inroads the BJP has made into the Jatland, as well as the Dalit dominated regions of Western Haryana, even near Sirsa, which is Kumari Selja's belt. BJP has won some seats there. So BJP emerging as a big success story in Haryana. In fact, when I was looking at the numbers here, also I think a masterstroke that some people are saying of BJP removing Manohar Lal Khattar as the chief minister a few months before the Lok Sabha elections, just 5 to 6 months ago, and making Nayaab Singh Saini as the chief minister of Haryana. This seems to have cut the the anti-incumbency, which was more BJP felt was against Mr. Manohar Lal rather than the party itself. The appeal of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Haryana, this is the state from where he always starts his poll campaign every time, and so Haryana is very dear to the Narendra Modi, who has spent a long time here as a Karyakarta. He understands the state more than anybody else, and that is what is explaining the BJP's big victory in Haryana. The Dalit consolidation, the voter consolidation, also against the Jat politics being played by the Congress party, removal of Manohar Lal Khattar replacing with Nayaab Singh Saini. I think all these factors have worked excellently for the BJP. An overconfident Congress, as I said, maybe was already jockling for who will be CM when the election was still out, very tight. And I think BJP in the last 1 month has made big inroads into the election and got much of the lost ground back and caught Congress all by surprise. Congress today is blaming EVMs and raising doubts over the Haryana election. But many would say that those are like grapes turned sour, and grapes are sour for the Congress when it comes to losing Haryana. It has, when the alliance has won in JNK, no such questions are being asked over the EVMs, but they are being asked over the EVMs in Haryana now by the Congress. Also, I think the farmer protest, the wrestler protest, the Agniveer issue all turned out to be non-issues in Haryana. People have reposed their faith in a government, a double-engine government. They want the same government in the center and in the state, and BJP repeating its performance thrice in Haryana. So both Haryana and JNK, fascinating election results. NC and Congress have won in JNK, but BJP also has many positives to take from the JNK result. Congress failing both in Haryana and both in JNK. That is big introspection time for the Congress. Knives are also out with Kumari Selja now openly questioning Bhupinder Singh Hooda being given so much power in Haryana, saying accountability should be fixed for this loss when everybody expected Congress to win, but they have lost in this election. So I think knives out in the Congress suffering both in Haryana due to overconfidence and also putting a drag on the NC Congress alliance in JNK, where the NC has done much of the powerlifting, winning nearly, out of the total seats won by the alliance, nearly 80 to 85% seats have been won by the National Conference. But BJP's big success story in Haryana is something that, a replication of what they did in Chhattisgarh about 6 months back when they, last December, when they won in Chhattisgarh. BJP showing that it has put back, it has pushed back what happened in the Lok Sabha when it got to reduce to 240 seats. I think BJP saying that it has made a new start, it has learned new lessons, and in the coming elections in Jharkhand, in Maharashtra, and then in February in Delhi, the BJP will be upbeat now of repeating their performance in Haryana and coming up with a favorable election result in these upcoming states.